Get charged up for the all-electric Acura ZDX. Experience impressive range, your choice of complimentary charging packages, a Bang & Olufsen premium sound system, and a 3-month SiriusXM trial subscription, granting you access to ad-free music, plus sports, news, podcasts, and more. Visit your local Acura dealer for the most electrifying offers of the season and lease the ZDX for $0 first month's payment and $1 due at signing. Make your future electric. Acura. Precision crafted performance.
Don't miss the incredible last-minute deals at Target this week. Save up to 50% off toys and get great savings on tech, clothing, and more. But hurry before these deals vanish. Save more on gifts. Happier holidays from Target. Restrictions apply.
I would rather go to the dentist than go to the Walmart anytime. No, that's the end of the sentence.
And now, Cheez Wits.
I was not even ready.
What do you mean you're not ready? It's time.
It's time. I didn't. In my recording. I just got my tea. I jumped out of the shower.
Chris is here.
Sound like he was listening to an insurance radio spot.
Yeah, that was the CBS Hourly beginning, because everything has to be sponsored now. So the CBS Hourly News brought to you by Progressive Insurance, which is brought to you by a fucking emu or something. So
what are you? Your mic sounds fantastic today.
I don't know why.
Wow. Do you think it's
same
better?
microphone?
Sounds about the same to me.
Maybe just the volume on my stuff's turned up, but it sounds
maybe you suck. Maybe that's what it is. How about that? Maybe you're hearing better for now.
That has long been a debate whether or not I suck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I wasn't talking about your schmeckle.
No implications made. I had a nice little conversation today with Jess. You may not know this guy, but I'm thinking Chris might. I had a conversation in the Hannaford parking lot with Tony Atlas today.
I know the name.
Superstar Championship WWF Tony Atlas.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy that did mornings in Binghamton. My bad.
No, I forget what that guy's name was. The Octopus or something. I don't know. Yeah, so Tony Atlas lives here, not far from where I live in Maine. And man, those WWF guys, they get the short end of a very, very long fucking shit stick when they're done and retired. Very few of them end up being The Rock. Or those guys. Most of them end up fucking broke and living in some. Listen, he drove away in a Buick. What was it? A Buick? Not a Corsair, but something equivalent.
Of course. What was he, in a fucking AMC Gremlin? What the fuck are you talking about?
He was in a Buick. Jesus Christ, began with a C, but an old Buick.
Cordova?
No. And that's a Chrysler, right? Yeah.
Maybe Corinthian leather.
Yeah, no, it was a Chrysler. Oh shit, I can't remember the name of it.
Century, Buick Century.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, there you go. And you sit there and go, my God, this guy was a superstar in the WWF. Just in a former Mr. America or Mr. Universe or some shit like that. And now he's living, in an apartment in a single, room apartment somewhere in downtown dead end street in a low end Maine city. Shopping at the Hannaford, counting pennies and using food stamps. Not good.
WWF. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Hey, do you guys, do you warn people? Do you flash your lights when you know there are police on the road?
No.
Me either.
Always.
I don't. I used to, but now I have an entirely different perspective, and my perspective is, fuck you for breaking the law.
Yep.
Because too many fucking
people. I hope they catch you, motherfucker.
Me too, because too many fucking people end up. We've had so many crashes from just asinine driving. And a guy today, I'm on my way home, and on the curve again, double solid yellow lines, in his Jeep, passes the car behind me, and the car coming the other way has to go into the essentially the slush because it's warm and snowy, and fucking has to fight to keep their car on the road because of this fucking asshole. No, I don't warn people anymore. Fuck you.
You see that pile up on the bridge in New Orleans?
No.
Yeah, they had I guess some pretty serious fog, and I don't remember how many cars, but I've seen several videos of several different places. It's like a shit ton of cars that piled into each other on I guess it's the longest bridge in, I don't know, somewhere. It's the longest bridge in the country, something over water. Like, right. Yeah. Thankfully, nobody went over the side of it, but they were just all slamming into each other because of the fog, and nobody could slow down.
Yeah, I feel the same today as I did 35 years ago when we were doing a morning show. It's not the fog's fault.
No.
Because the news will always report fog was the cause of these accidents. No.
People not paying a fucking attention and slowing down.
Right. Assholes driving like the fog is, they've got perfect vision. Mm-hmm. No, it's assholes. It's not the fog.
Yeah.
Causing any accident. The thing when people say, this is a dangerous road. No, the road doesn't move. It stays in the same fucking
Roads
place.
Roads don't kill people.
What the fuck is this? Well, guns don't kill people. I do.
Roads don't kill people. People kill people.
They sure as shit do. And speaking of guns,
right.
Fucking that this is a whole new turn with that the 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And, that's a fuck.
I mean, what the fuck? Where did she even get the goddamn thing?
It's.
I bet they're going to find out that she got it from her parents or from her best friend's parents or something.
There are so many angles to this stuff that we really can't get into, right? Because it's such a fucking long and complicated and crazy. But I was telling my daughter today that I think part of it is the way we bring kids up now is that everything should hurt you and bother you and you can't brush anything off. Some shit you just got to let go. I know it's hard, but sometimes you just got to say, no, I'm not letting that little piece of bullshit bother me. Like my daughter got upset when someone said around her, she said, oh, my feelings are hurt because they said if I had kids, I'd know what they were talking about with not being able to work longer hours. And she said, oh, and that hurt my feelings. I said, why? It's true. Having kids changes the dynamic of your freedom. It just does for people who actually do the job of parenting. For crackheads, no. They just say, oh, kids, fuck that. Let's go do crack. No, it does. Certain things change the dynamic of your life.
But I think, Wally, when you're a 15-year-old girl or probably a 15-year-old boy, although I have no experience in that department, right. When you're 15, brushing things off is not an option, especially when you're 15 in 2024, when the things that you are suggesting be brushed off are coming at you 24/7 because of social media. Kids can't just brush shit off.
Go to hell. I didn't ask to be born, okay?
Yeah, that bullshit right there.
Uh-huh.
That's a bullshit comment. And you see that on TV. I see that on TV shows. I was watching a TV show the other day exactly where that was the theme was, I didn't ask to be born, and I'm going up trying. It's like, you know what? Fucking sometimes parents just got to stand strong. And I understand what you're saying, Jess, but listen, you grew up in a sort of a shitty situation. You weren't going around fucking stabbing people. And I mean, you might have been angry and you might have had, some animus and you might have been bitchy, but you figured it out because someone said, figure it out, Jess.
No, she saved killing people for her corporate career.
Listen, we're not talking about my murdering career.
That's correct.
Right. You let it pent up. At least you let it pent up to you around, 30, not 15. No, I agree with you to some extent, but then, goddamn, I don't know.
I'm not justifying what she did. I'm saying you can't just tell a kid, "I'll brush it off."
Well, not everything, but you can't. You also got to tell them, man, everything can't fucking make you go crazy. You can't be pissed off. Because
I just think bullies now are worse than bullies used to be.
I think they have more access to being bullies. It's easier to be a bully.
Yeah.
Nobody, you don't get called on it because you can hide behind shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like alcohol. There's Brave Juice now, and that Brave Juice is anonymous on a fucking chat somewhere.
Yeah.
There is a horrible, but then again, it goes right back to fucking parents. Like the rule in my house for my kids was, I know your passwords. There is no, you get a free ride on pass. I will check your shit when I want to check your shit.
Mm-hmm.
And however, now lots of parents have this, my child needs their privacy. No, your fucking kid doesn't, because that's the kid I'm going to see on the evening news saying, 14-year-old girl missing for 3 days because she fucking hooked up with some, tardo in fucking Indiana and ran off because he convinced her. Or it happens to boys too, not just girls. But no, fucking parents got to fucking figure out they're not adults. They're kids with kid feelings, just like you say, Jess. With kid, they have kid emotions and kid bodies and kid minds. But yet people walk around saying, no, they're grown and they got to have respect. No, they don't. They just don't.
You want my respect? Beat the shit out of your child. Okay.
There you go.
You've got to keep them in line. Okay. This whole best friend parenting thing doesn't work.
Yeah. But you know what? Because your kid has all kinds of friends, and they don't need you. They don't need a friend that's 30 years older than them. They don't need, that's what as a parent, that's what you're trying to keep your kid away from. You're 15. You don't need a 45-year-old friend on Facebook. And that includes you as the parent. Your job isn't friend. Your job is parent, period. And most of the time they hate you. I know this. I've been hated a lot, but now my kids love me. But, whatever.
That doesn't apply to all parents, by the way. Sometimes the hate comes and goes, and then you're in charge of your parents' livelihood.
Well, because they somehow turn out to be exactly what they were when you were 15. They're still that way at 50. Holy shit, 40 years have gone by and you're still an asshole.
Yep.
And Jess, I don't mean to call anybody, any adult in your tree an asshole, but I have a feeling there's a couple of assholes hanging from branches.
There are assholes in the family tree for sure.
Yeah, I have assholes in my family tree. For sure. Absolutely.
I found out this morning, Wally, I doubt you would know this guy. Chris, did you know Pat James?
I did not.
Yeah.
I saw your post, but I didn't know.
Yeah. He was a radio guy. He passed away yesterday, and he's my age. I met him when I started working in Wichita, and he, at the time, I think he did. There were 6 stations in the building. I think when I got there, he was on the quote unquote young country station. And then ended up moving over to the mainstream country station, and then eventually moved to St. Louis with the radio guy that I dated for a long time. And
you dated a radio guy?
Yeah.
Sorry. You may be entitled to compensation.
I should be entitled to compensation, as should Pat, for having moved to St. Louis with this particular radio guy, because he was treated badly, as was I. But basically, Pat and I both consider this guy an ex. And when it came down to it, when they decided to do layoffs in St. Louis, our mutual ex did not fight for Pat. And so Pat was let go. And he ended up moving back to Wichita and having finding a great radio job with a great company. And he and I kind of kept in touch over the last, I mean, it's probably been 20 years since I've seen him in person, but yeah, I found out he'd had some heart issues, had a couple of surgeries, and lost a bunch of weight and done all of the things you're supposed to do, but his heart finally gave out on him yesterday. And the thing that kills me, I was looking through his page and I was looking at some of the, all of the nice things that people were posting about him. And there were some people who only knew him as the quote unquote sidekick in St. Louis. And so many posts mentioned this mutual ex. And I was like, man, Pat would be pissed off about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, he would be pissed off knowing that people are just like, oh, he was dude's sidekick. He was his, if you ever listened to the person's show. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even like that term. And I don't like the idea of sidekick even. because in my estimation, that person is as important as the person who is the first person on the mic.
Yeah. You didn't call me a sidekick. I didn't call Chris a sidekick.
Wow. Because not a sidekick. Because I would have got kicked.
Mm-hmm.
No, probably then you wouldn't have objected to it back,
Well, no, I really was the sidekick back then.
But not, yeah, no. I don't think of you as that at all. Just because I spoke first, you probably spoke just as much as me, or at least you slapped me around enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because I think that doesn't let you. I think when you allow yourself to be pigeonholed that way, you end up fucking staying there.
Yeah.
And you don't climb out of that fucking that pocket.
Yeah.
And you don't get to lead.
Luckily, when Pat went back to Kansas, he was the morning host on his own. He was an operations manager. He was a good leader. Everybody loved him. So
I saw a bumper sticker today that said, Republican women make great leaders. You're following one now. I just wanted to rear end her.
Ugh.
I just wanted to rear end her. But I said to myself, I ought to make up stickers on my computer that just say, Republican women are cunts. You're following one now. And just slap it on the cars as I go by. Not really, because I don't believe that. But some shit just makes you like giggle a little bit. I was in the Walmart
You
today.
could put one that said, cunts are cunts. You're following one now.
I could say that. Or I could say, cunts have cunts. You're following one now. I was in the Walmart today, and I got to tell you, at this time of year, Walmart may be the worst fucking place on the planet. And I've been to Memphis.
I would rather go to the dentist than go to the Walmart anytime. No, that's the end of the sentence.
It's fuck. I was in it. It's just so fucking.
Ting, ting, ding, ding. That's the end of the sentence.
It's so fucking gross. And god damn it, people buy a lot of those fucking hot sauce gift boxes. Those
For who?
I don't know who they, but all those fucking ridiculous made up gift boxes, like it's the Grinch stole Christmas coffee or cocoa mug with a pouch of cocoa in it. If I ever get that fucking gift from any
God almighty. Could
sending,
you imagine the commercial? The commercial should be something along the lines of, nothing says fuck you like.
like the Grinch coffee mug with Hershey's cocoa. Yeah,
you remember at the radio stations when we used to get the Mannheim Steamroller cocoa? I'd give that shit away pretty goddamn quickly. Nobody knew it came from the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we used to get record companies would send fucking extravagant gift boxes in gift baskets during the holidays.
Oh, the cocaine, absolutely.
And I would never see any of that shit. You'd be on the air. The guy would come in at 8:00, deliver your shit. You'd come out and there'd be an empty basket.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what the fuck happened?
The salespeople happened.
It had my name on it.
Yeah.
It was empty.
Yep.
Just all that payola gone. I never found the cash.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the fucking cash that was in there? I know there was cash in
Man,
here.
I became a PD too late.
Huh?
I said, man,
Oh,
I became a PD too late.
There were a lot of advantages. And you know what? As I look at, they weren't horrible. It wasn't a horrible thing. Well, depending on how you used it. I passed my shit on.
I appreciate the number of coffees, packs of cigarettes, car repairs I got thanks to your connections.
I did not hoard shit for myself. I recognized that I had a staff that was well underpaid, and I tried to supplement it with goods and services paid for by independent record promoters. Chris, you must have had independent record promoters in your stable of friends.
Well, I did, but I got in too late that the indies were all part of the company. Like when I started at Cumulus, the indie was already part of Cumulus. A guy named I think he's dead. John Kilgo, I think. He was one of the big indies, and then he came in with a company.
My guy was Jerry Brenner, who was I had two. I had him, and then I had another couple guys. As a matter of fact, when I got let go from Rock 107 in Utica, and I was sort of, I don't know, it was about 2 months between then and when I put and switched over the format of Kissmas of 102. I survived because record companies made me an independent promoter.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
And paid me to call radio stations and pitch records. And I was probably making $600, $700 a week from different ones. And because there was like 5 or 6 different,
which was more than my whole salary.
Yeah, at the time.
I think it was double my salary, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, at the time. But I didn't do that once I was in the station. I did it in between those two, while not working. But they took care of you. If you were if you were a PD that took care of them, they took care of you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't necessary to, at least my deal. My deal was not. It was not necessary that I be good to them for them to be good to me, and it was not necessary for them to be good to me for me to be good to them. Just how it is. Mm-hmm. A lot of stations, however, were known as whore stations, which means they'd play anything for $1.
Yeah.
And
there are still stations, at least 12 years ago when I was programming, there were still stations that were trying to play that game.
Oh, I'm sure.
And you had to be a lot sneakier about it. But there was a PD I think she was in the Carolinas somewhere, and I believe she is dead now. But she had some kind of, she would make the labels buy ads, but but it wasn't, but it was like an advertising fee or promotional fee or some kind of other word for payola.
Yeah, time buys.
That made it seem like it was above board, but the money would come to her personally.
When I worked in Roanoke, the PD there, the program director there, was also a salesperson. So the record companies would make buys with him. Mm-hmm. They'd stop in, he'd take, and they'd make ridiculous. Now, here's a $4,000 buy for Al B. Shore. And it's like, fucking, this is an AM station at 1320.
Yeah.
On the AM dial. Though it pulled great numbers because it was the only urban station, only black station anywhere in the market. And so they make a $4,000 1 week buy, and 15% of that, 20% of that, whatever his cut was his. Mm-hmm. So that's how he got paid, by their time buy. That they would make, and then they'd come into town and slip him money all the time, and it was so obvious. They'd come in and, hey, have you heard this new record yet? And you'd slip a couple bills in it, always hundreds, just in the, you're like, wow, it's so dirty. But not so much, because it was a black station and there were no black stations, and to get honest to goodness urban music played in Lynchburg and Utica, and Lynchburg and Roanoke, Virginia, it wasn't easy.
Yeah,
it was not easy to get that shit played in the 90s or in the late 80s. It was not easy to get that kind of music played in any market at that time on a single station, because still CHR pop radio hadn't come around, top 40 hadn't come around yet until, and then
I see this. I see you down in Roanoke all of a sudden having, it's a Stacey Lattisaw winning weekend.
Oh, brother, we did them. It's a Al B. Shore. It's a Stacey Lattisaw. It's a, what the fuck's his name? It's Terrence Trent D'Arby weekend.
Oh yeah.
All that shit. It's a we didn't have Belle Biv DeVoe yet. They weren't around yet, but we had all that shit going on.
What's Terrence Trent
When
D'Arby's
you hear
name now?
Wishing Well,
Yeah, Terrence Trent D'Arby.
he has a new name.
Yeah,
he uses a different name because he can't get booked as TTD anymore.
I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, I think he just uses his regular name. I did a thing on him a few months back, and I can't remember what he uses as a name anymore.
I can't either, but I saw it when I was working one day, and
what were we playing about? We're playing Orange Juice Jones, and that was a big one. The Joy and Pain guys.
Joy and Pain.
And, what a great song.
Sananda Maitreya. That's his name.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah.
That sounds like a condition.
That's why I didn't have to Google it at all.
It sounds like a condition.
Seriously, what do you have on your penis? Well, it's that Sandana Maitreya.
The name he was born with was Terrence Trent Howard. He started his career with the stage name Terrence Trent D'Arby. I'm trying to figure out where D'Arby legally changed his name to Sananda Maitreya in 2001, explaining Terrence Trent D'Arby was dead. He watched his suffering as he died a noble death. After intense pain, I meditated for a new spirit, a new will, a new identity. His name change resulted from a series of dreams he had in 1995. Though the name does not have any religious significance, he explained that he understood it to mean rebirth in Sanskrit. Famous people are weird.
Fucking nutty bastard. You know who I liked from back then was Lisa Stansfield.
Mm-hmm.
All around the world. Oh, what a great fucking. Last night I was listening to music till like 2 a.m. Just shit that I had not heard or wasn't really aware of over the last couple of years. And it's just fucking the singer-songwriter shit that just is mind-blowing good.
The Rob and Fab winning weekend.
Rob, the Milli Vanilli boys. Yeah. We played all that shit. Every bit of it. And then Mariah came along then too.
Yep.
I was there. She came along and and Michael Jackson had a huge album then too. And Whitney it was a great time. 88, 89, 90. It was a fucking great time for music.
I pulled up a couple of months ago. I pulled out that first major Whitney album. It still holds up. That shit is bomb.
It is. It's fucking unbelievable. It's just so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
You just listen to it, you go, fucking hell. And it's all, and the amazing thing about all that shit is, and this is what I was listening to when I was listening to shit last night.
That they were all on drugs? Oh.
No. Well, they were all on drugs, but there was no such thing as auto-tune. Those were fucking just voice.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little echo on the mic. Maybe, but everybody's done that forever. And I was listening. One of the things I enjoyed looking at last night was, and it's just a genre on there. It's the first time black people are exposed to Blue Eyed Soul, and it'll be like the Righteous Brothers, and it's not just black people being exposed to it. It's also white people being exposed to black music, but it's not realizing that was a fucking black artist. But that was a white artist, not knowing and just being so fucking just unaware of what music is. I mean, I know I'm not really that contemporary anymore.
What?
I don't have. Well, listen, I still listen and search out music, but it's a different kind of music now. I'm not searching out fucking hip hop anymore or that kind of shit, but I'm still searching out new stuff that's from the last year or so. And my tastes have changed, but these fucking people have no idea 20 years ago what the fuck music was.
Well, we lost Chris, and I'm really upset about that because I was just about to make him tell a story.
Oh, I want to hear Chris's story. Look at how Christmassy my room is, Jess.
Your room is always Christmassy.
So Christmassy. See, all the stockings are hung by the chimney with care back there.
I do.
They're all hung, and they're beautiful. And the little Christmas tree is out in the foyer.
Oh, there he is.
All right. Before he gets cut off again, go, Chris. Go, Jess.
Well, I was just going to say, I feel like we've waited long enough, Chris, for the Jenna story.
Oh, I don't know the story.
Oh, did you not get on the facial page yesterday, Wally?
No.
Okay. So Jenna had to have a colonoscopy. She's having some stomach issues, and she had a colonoscopy yesterday, and today she had some fibroid scan. I don't know what the fuck it was. But she wakes up from the thing. I mean, she's laying there fucking snoring, and they bring me back. I mean, she is sawing down, George Washington's oak tree. Okay. And the nurse comes in and smacks her on the ass a few times. My pecker stood up for a second, and like Jenna, and then she like rolled over and like, Jenna, time to wake up. And the first thing she says, "Where's Chris?" And I said, "I'm right here, honey." "Oh, good. Where's Chris, honey?" "I'm right here. "Oh, okay. How's Rosie?" "What the fuck is Rosie? Is she the nurse?" "No, Rosie the cow. She fell off the ice bridge right into the creek. I hope she's okay." "Jenna, what the fuck are you talking about? The cow, the ice. Where's Chris?" "Honey, I'm right here." "Oh, okay. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm ready to go." "Okay."
Wow.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I should have videotaped that shit. I mean, that would have been great.
She had a reaction.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Now, did you find out later, was Rosie the cow a thing that actually happened?
She said she never knew her cow named Rosie. No, they never had a cow named Rosie, and she doesn't know where it came from. She doesn't know why she said that. Yeah, nothing.
Huh.
She had some kind of dream. Wow, you see? You put a little something up her ass, and all of a sudden, Rosie the cow was involved. Yeah,
Rosie the cow.
Jody had fibroids many years ago that she had to have removed. But it was I think her fibroids were uterine fibroids, I think. Yeah. And but she was all fine. Oh, okay. Speaking of death, my friend Dave, who I might have mentioned, who was a roommate of mine in college for just a semester, but we've stayed in touch, and I saw him over the summer, and he lives in Watertown, New York, but he's been all over the world in the military. He's a retired colonel. I think he's a colonel, yeah. Anyways, his wife, who is younger than me, younger than you, Jess, died last week. Just fucking died suddenly at home, a heart attack.
Ugh.
Like, what the fuck? And I saw that yesterday. I was like, holy Jesus, motherfucker. And just, it's just, and you were mentioning your friend Pat. It's like, I'm telling you, just, it's our age, the age we are in, fucking I don't think the first 50 years of my life I knew a person that died.
Mm.
You know, not of any natural cause or any cause other than a hellacious accident.
Yeah.
Right. And now that just people are dropping.
Yeah. It's kind of scary. It makes you think about your own stuff. I mean, I know Pat smoked for years, but he had quit decades ago. But I also smoked for years. It's like you start to think about your own health and mortality.
I think we have not, because I haven't smoked in, I don't know, 25 years.
It's only been 5 years for me.
I mean, it's been about 25 years, and none of that shit, I don't know that any of that shit was true. Like, oh, you'll get all your taste back. No,
that's bullshit.
I never lost.
What taste. A fucking letdown quitting smoking was for me. What a fucking letdown that was.
What a letdown. Is it just? Oh, what a letdown! Stopping smoking was.
Wanted to taste cock again, and god damn it!
I thought, and you know what? It still tasted the same.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking menthol cock is just no good. Did you smoke menthols, Jess?
I did.
Because I smoked Newports when I was smoking. And if, in a pinch, I would smoke a Salem. What was your
Marlboro
menthols?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was a city smoker. I was an urban smoker. I smoked the Newports.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter and I were talking today about this idea of, we had a shooting here yesterday. Five young black men, Somali boys. They called them kids in the newspaper. 5 kids put 6 bullets in some white guy downtown in the city. And not sure, it wasn't clear whether or not one person was shooting or there was 3 people shooting at this guy. Anyways, he ended up with 6 bullets in him and he's in intensive care. But Cheyenne and I were talking about how these people in this little Maine town, they think they're thugs. And they just don't. I lived in Los Angeles. You ain't thugging.
Mm.
You're a kid with a hoodie. That's what you are.
You shouldn't have been in that part of town.
And she lived in San Diego and in San Jose, and I lived in Wista, and that's where real thugs and that's where real gang people live.
Mm-hmm.
Not in Lewiston, Maine, or Kennebunk, Maine.
Meanwhile, earlier this week, T-Mobile tried to murder me.
What? How?
Well, what had happened was...
It's a fireside chat.
I'll be rich.
I had called up T-Mobile because I was having trouble with my smartwatch. It was not being very smart. And I had tried all the troubleshooting on my own, and so I called them up. And the watch came from T-Mobile, which is why I called them. So I explained the situation to the man, and he says to me, Jeffrey says to me, we understand how important it is to have your watch working so that you can leave your phone at home when you go jogging. And I almost choked to death laughing at poor Jeffrey, who thought that I might be waiting to go take a jog until my watch was working properly.
Jeffrey, have you seen how many steps I've taken in the last year?
Right.
Now, okay. So I went into T-Mobile the other day because I had to, this show ain't going to air for a little bit. So Jenna wanted to replace her Apple Watch because she had slammed part of it in the cow gate. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll go get one. And they were giving buy one, get one free. I said, okay. Mm-hmm. So I went and got it. And then I realized while I was there that they put me on the wrong plan. They were supposed to be paying for my parents' phone, the 2 iPhones I got for them when I ported their number over. And the guy's like, yeah, they took you off that plan. What happened in October of last year? I said, well, that's when you all changed my phone number without me asking. And said, that's weird. Well, can you put me back in the plant? No, it's nothing I can do here. You got to talk to customer service. Got to call 611. I said, okay. So I get on to the T-Mobile chat. Okay. And a bot named JPie, JAYPIE, answered. And it just started. I said, is this a real person? I certainly am a real person, Mr. Roth. How can I help you? And I went through and said the problem, and it kept repeating the same answer over and over again.
Yeah.
Kept repeating the same answer. So I called 611, which they still haven't resolved my problem. They're still supposed to call me back. But I said, is that a bot? Even when you ask for a real person? I said, yeah, totally. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it says it's a real person, it is not a real person.
No.
Now, funny thing also, by the way, when you call 611, which, for people who don't use T-Mobile, that's how you get to customer service.
Well, and people that are of a certain age, 611 is what you would dial from a home landline to get like Bell customer service too. Oh,
I don't remember that.
That's where that came from. Well, no, not for information. For literally, if your phone line used to break, to call. Yeah, down here used to call 611.
I didn't know that. But anyway, I called 611 when I was speaking to poor young Jeffrey, and after I hung up, I noticed a notification on my phone that said, all blocked numbers are temporarily unblocked, which happens after you make an emergency call. Apparently, my phone doesn't know the difference between 611 and 911.
So here, by the way, I think our information number is 211. That's the number we have. So if you need something, that the state has this bank.
I couldn't tell you how to get information in Tennessee other than
we have. What's y'all's phone number? That's how you get information in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you to have information in Tennessee.
You ain't from around here, are you?
Are you? No, we have the 211 system here. So no matter what it is you want to know, you can call it and they try to answer it.
We have a system like that for Nashville called Hub Nashville. I don't think it has a 3-digit number, but it has an app, so you can either call or you can use the app. And they encourage you to use the app because they don't want to talk to you any more than you want to talk to them.
Well, so I have used, I'm still locked out of my gig stuff.
Oh, shit.
Of course the fuck you are. How, well, have you not called them back?
Oh, they do not have a phone number other than the customer support number, and that's just useless. It was one of the things they do, and what I was going to bring up is when you talk to customer support, if it's not from this country, they are so fucking placating. Like, the angry American needs to be told, we're so sorry for your inconvenience.
We understand how important it is for you to go jogging.
Right.
Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Now I got to pull up this fucking message now. Yeah. Because this is the same shit that I was getting from them.
We so understand. And the other thing I've noticed is when you text these people, they have to run it through a translator for sure.
Yeah.
Because they do not, the English is not even their third language.
Mm-mm.
May I know if you are logged into your account?
Yeah.
All right, no worries. If you do not mind, share the screenshot, can you, of page showing logged in so I can check our end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all T-Mobile.
Well, that's the same thing you get when you call some of these gig companies. Send me a screenshot, and it's in AI voice or whatever. It's in bot mode, and you get fucking nowhere. And then they always say, "Did I solve your problem?" Well, you fucking made it worse, you dumb cock. My problem is not solved. I, by the way, do not rate anybody on those things.
Oh God, no.
I
will
don't.
If I speak to an actual person and they have been actually helpful,
I will say that.
I will rate them and say, please give this person a raise.
Yeah, I will say they were helpful. But if they're not helpful, I do not say they're not helpful.
No.
Because I don't, it's not my position. I don't like being put in a position to determine whether or not somebody's employed or not.
No, especially when they say the calls are being monitored. Okay, well then you do it.
Yeah, you figure it out.
You determine if they did a good job.
That you fucking fire or get rid of this person who's, the fourth person in their fucking little hovel to work to try to buy a fucking half pound of rice to survive. I mean, that's and I that may sound extreme, but it's fucking true. It's fucking true. And companies like Apple and these fucking people ought to be ashamed that they use these out of country call centers. Not that they use the call centers, but they use call centers that they know underpay and lock fucking people in and make them work.
Well, and one of the other things with T-Mobile is if you look at their stuff, they will say that they have US based customer service.
What does that mean? They run the lines under the water?
Basically, I think that's what it is.
I mean, when I call T-Mobile, I always get a person who can speak English.
Oh no, I get the ones that can speak English. It just is not their first, second, or third language.
No. I mean, when I call them, communication is clear when I get to actually speak to a person.
Not me.
Congratulations.
I get somebody who is absolutely Southeast Asian with a name like Troy.
Jess, are you hearing a weird noise coming from Wally's side? It sounds like he's on an AM station all of a sudden.
No, but his sound, I don't know if you saw me kind of looking over toward my board. I do think your sound dropped out a little bit, Wally.
Mine did? Yeah, because I hear a bunch of behind him.
Maybe it's because I had maybe the Christmas music in the other room was coming through.
Oh, well, that's legit.
I just turned it down because it's running through my phone. I forgot that the auto tree is on. Did I tell you? Did I tell you about my tree last week?
I don't think so.
No,
So my beautiful Christmas tree back here, which is twinkling all different colors. We have had this tree for 4 years.
And it's been there in the background every time that we've talked to you for the last 2.
Absolutely. We have not taken it down in 4 years. And I discovered, this is so fucking terrible, and you guys are just going to mock me viciously when I tell you.
We would never.
Why would you ever say that?
I discovered 2 weeks ago when I was lighting it up, and I went down to plug it back in. And I said, what's this big box at the bottom of the tree? I didn't realize it had a Bluetooth speaker.
Jesus Christ.
Play on my phone and control the light.
This is shocking information.
I never would have dreamed this, Wally.
And I had this separate box we've been using for 3-4 years. So now I've moved it to the little tree out in the foyer, and it's out there running that tree. That's just one of those little tinsel trees.
Gail.
This has a fucking big, beautiful speaker on the bottom with modern Bluetooth. And it's fantastic, and it works great, and it controls the lights on the tree. And for 4 years, I had no fucking clue.
This is shocking. I'm going to need to sit down.
Yeah, of course you are.
Mm-hmm.
It is embarrassing for me to let you guys know how inept I am.
I got to tell you, it's embarrassing for us too, Wally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's embarrassing for us to be on this fucking call right now.
I almost didn't even want to acknowledge that it was there.
$1.99.
Holy shit.
Chris, what is that?
What is what? What is what?
It
Something's
sounds like you're
awesome.
scanning groceries.
That's correct. Pick again.
He's talking to me about some sort of weird whoosh whoosh sound in the background. He's got a talking fucking
All
register.
of a sudden I hear $1.99.
I had to get cat food. What do you want?
Oh, we have a new cat, sort of. It's a feral cat that's now coming up, and my daughter has put food under the porch. So this cat, she is going under and and eating the food now. And my wife has decided that she likes the cat and she wants to make a box for it so it can stay out of the cold. But I'm going to put the trap out there and see if I can't catch it. It's just a little cute, multicolor cat, so it's more than likely a female. There's a 90+% chance it's female because male cats generally are not 3 colors. Generally, females are. And I've already named her. She's sort of a dark color, embers color, and then a brown, and then a orangey color. I'm calling her Tangerine. That's her name. And
Okay.
and we're already calling her Tangerine, and I'm going to try to catch Tangerine and bring her into the house.
It's funny because I actually had, there's always a couple feral cats outside. But
Right.
today I got back and there were 7 of them.
Wow.
Okay. And
That's intimidating.
I sat down outside and they all come over, smelling me. And then they just lay down in front of me on the driveway. I mean, they just want to be loved. They don't care about anything else.
And Chris
That's
has now
all they
become
want.
the pussy whisperer.
Yeah, I'm all of a sudden I'm the cat lady. I am the crazy cat lady.
Oh, I like Pussy Whisperer. Jessica got you there.
The pussy whisperer.
Pussy Whisperer.
Yeah, that was a time I was going down on the chick and I said, "Hey, baby, you want me to ride it?"
Oh my God.
The pussy whisperer.
That next coming out of anesthesia for Jenna should be fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. Wait till I tell her about Rosie the cat fucker. That'd be great.
So hey, was this Jenna's first colonoscopy?
It was.
What an experience.
It was. And I would say that she's not going to recommend it to her friends. Okay.
She's young. She's young for getting a colonoscopy, right? She's not.
Yeah, she's not of a certain age.
Yeah.
She's not of a certain age.
Yeah, but they wanted her to get it, and she's like, "Okay, what the fuck?"
I had blood work done last week, and I haven't heard anything back. I'm concerned.
I had some good news at the doctor's office last week.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Because the last time that I went, like 6 months ago,
You're done with the menopause.
Huh?
You're done with the menopause. That would be good news.
Well, we didn't talk about that. But when I went 6 months ago, my blood pressure was like really high for me. And I've not had high blood pressure ever. And it was high enough that the doctor went, maybe that was a fluke. Let me try it again. And it was not a fluke. It actually went a little bit higher. And my
Well,
cholesterol.
of course it's going to go higher because you're sitting there going, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, exactly. But that's never, like, I've never had problems with my blood pressure. And with that visit, when we did blood work, my cholesterol was a little bit elevated as well. Like, just enough, like, not that I have to go on any medications or anything, but just enough that she was like, here's some, advice that has nothing to do with anything. Like, just eat low cholesterol. What the fuck does that mean? But okay, fine.
Eat garlic and onions.
Yeah. But when I went in to get a prescription refill the other day, last week, my blood pressure was not only back to normal, it was on the low side of normal. Like, it was lower than I've ever had it.
Healthy girl.
That was exciting.
Now, did you adjust your diet at all?
Yeah, I actually I made an appointment with the dietitian that I use because my doctor saying just eat low cholesterol, that doesn't fucking mean anything. And I know that my doctor did not study nutrition in any way, so she doesn't even know what to advise me on, really. So I had an appointment with my dietitian right after that, and so she gave me just some small changes to make.
And you incorporated them.
Yeah.
Is there anything I should be eating, Jess, to facilitate lowering cholesterol?
Oatmeal?
I don't have high cholesterol. I've never had it. Oatmeal? Did you say oatmeal?
Yeah.
I love oatmeal.
Oatmeal's good for you.
I really do. The problem with so I like oatmeal with lots of brown sugar, which isn't good, and raisins. Oh, I do like oatmeal. And I like it. I don't like the instant kind. I like the kind you put in a pot so it gets sticky and
I'm way
gooey.
too lazy for all of that shit in the morning.
Oh, I'll eat oatmeal for dinner. Are you kidding me? I like it. I you know what? Just here's the truth. I like food.
As do I.
I
really just cut back on the salt mostly.
Yeah, we don't have. We have a salt box on our table. We don't have salt shaker. We have an old school salt box and pepper box that you reach in and take a pinch of salt and put it on.
Oh,
and we found that if you
you're talking about a salt lick.
No, no, that's when I work out a little, and Jody says, "Ooh, that lick is a little salty."
Oh.
And but what I found is that using kosher salt, I use way less salt because it's bigger chunks. So when you get a little taste, you get a taste. You don't have to fucking put tons of salt on it. The drawback is there's no iodine in it. So you have to use some iodine in other foods. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blah, blah there. But yeah, we have a salt box. We have a salt box and we have our kitchen table. What do you have on our kitchen table? We have salt box. We have Tabasco sauce. We have Slap Your Mama salt, and we have camp salt on our table, and we have green hot sauce too on our table.
Of course you do.
What do you have on yours, Chris?
Oh, I don't have a table.
You don't have a table?
I don't have a table. But once we get this new house, it'll be good. We'll have a table.
Have you picked one out? Are you looking at one? Or?
Yeah. We actually, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday we looked up one. We're looking at another one today, at like 7:00 tonight. The one yesterday, everything inside was brand new. It was a 1999 house, but everything inside was brand spanking new. So I don't know whether this was a place that this guy used as a rental, and because it's the owner is selling it. Owner is the real estate agent.
Right.
So it's almost one of those things like he rented it out and the renters fucking destroyed everything in there. Cause I mean, and when I say everything's brand new, we're talking brand new bathrooms. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, just everything is just stinking brand new. And just for your edification, it's over there at Lake Linganore.
Okay.
Okay. And really nice neighborhood, except fucking $250 a month HOA.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. So place we're looking at today, no HOA.
Much better.
But the place, there's a weird vibe about it. I mean, it was nice. Everything was great, but you know,
you felt like there was a murder in the building.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like something was covered up here.
Maybe that's why he had to redo everything in the house because of all the murders.
But here's the thing, the front door of the house, you got those metal doors, which are really not metal doors. This is metal on either side of a piece of wood.
Yeah. Metal clad.
Yeah. And so it's a metal clad door. Well, you can see all these dents in this metal clad door on the inside of it. And you put your hand on it, you can actually feel it physically separating from the wood, which that would be indicative of high temperature, I think. So it's like there was a fire there, or, the cops were coming with a battering ram or something.
Something went wrong.
Yeah, there's something wrong in that house because the only thing that is not brand new is the windows. Everything else is brand spanking new.
Well, speaking as a landlord, fucking tenants do fuck up your shit all the time.
Oh, look, I rented out the Germantown house. I know. I mean, I went in there. I'm like, what do you mean the door frame is broken? What the fuck is this? Like, oh, well, we had a fight one night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember going in and having to change in this one house, change 3 windows. And they said, now, mind you, I lived in the fucking house for, I don't know, 6 years. And we never broke a window. And they said, oh, well, it's just regular use. What the fuck are you talking about regular use? You've been here 4 months.
Now listen,
you broke 3 windows.
When I was renting my last house before I bought it, I had a dog, but when I first got her, she had separation anxiety. It was a problem. She busted out a window to get out of the house when I was away.
Oh, well.
And I took full responsibility for that. I called the landlord and said, here's what happened. I have a guy coming to fix it. I just wanted to let you know.
Well, and as you should. You're a decent person. But how is life with you and Cujo, by the way?
Well, that particular dog passed, so.
Okay, so Cujo's no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Your current dogs don't try and do that, do they?
No.
Okay.
I had a tenant one time move out, and they took every light bulb in the house. And this was a two-story house, 2 floors, well, 3 floors because there was a full basement too. Every light bulb they took, and I said, "What? Are you fucking kidding me? Why have you taken the light bulbs? Well, we replaced some of those." Yeah, well, when you fucking moved in, they were all working. If they blow out, you put a new bulb in.
I have
People
stolen
took
some shit
fixtures.
from houses I've rented, and it's never once occurred to me to take the light bulbs with me.
People took a fixture out of Germantown. They took the chandelier down from the living room, the dining room, just gone.
He won't remember
And
it was there.
They broke the handle on the dryer to open the door from the front, so they just jimmied a screwdriver in there.
Fantastic. Oh, we've gone in, we've had toilet seats missing. You go and say, where the fuck's the toilet seat?
They took the toilet seat.
The fucking toilet seat gone on one of the toilets. Like, are you fucking kidding?
I hate it when the kids get to that age and go, mine.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was fucking, I have been absolutely shocked by how fucking just ridiculous renters can be.
Yeah.
And Jess have been exactly like you. If we broke a window, we took care of it. We fixed it. We didn't call the landlord to say, hey, this window broke. No, the window didn't just fucking, it's like the road that moves. The window didn't break on its own.
The only time I would have expected the landlord to take care of something like that is if like a storm happened.
Right, a tree fell, a branch, something.
act of God.
That.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it would be on him. But when the fucking tenant puts a hole, we had a tenant move out. We had to replace, there were 3-bedroom doors. We had to replace every bedroom door because every single one of them had been punched through or kicked through.
Jesus Christ.
And mind you, the tenant had only been in the house 8 months. We had to paint everything. We had to change all the carpeting. We had one room that they had a child who had, I don't know, some sort of autism or was differently, just had some issues. He would piss and defecate. He would piss and shit on the floor in his bedroom. And it was just fucking caked into this carpeting that had torn up. Yeah. It was these fucking people were unfucking real.
When I first moved to Memphis, I was trying to find a house to rent. I never wanted to live in an apartment complex again.
No.
So I was trying to find a house to rent. But in Memphis, and I've never lived anywhere else where this is true, but nowhere in Memphis could you rent a house with the appliances in it. You were responsible for bringing your own appliances. And because I was at that moment engaged to a shithead who spent money as fast as it came in, we had no money for appliances. We could barely come up with the deposit to get into a place. So we had no choice but to go to an apartment complex because those were the only places that came with appliances.
Now,
my God.
Here, when you buy a house, the stove and refrigerator is 50% of the time there's one. When you buy one, the stove and refrigerator is there.
Yeah, they convey up here.
Yeah.
But when I went to North Carolina, I had to, it had a, what the fuck's it called? It had a refrigerator, had a stove, but the washer and dryer were not provided in the apartment. Hookups were.
Yeah.
But not the actual units.
That's a little bit more common in my experience, but the stove and refrigerator were always provided.
We've always supplied stove and refrigerator and everything, never washer dryer.
The washer dryer in my last house were included, and I still have them. They came with me.
God damn it, I gotta go. I just fucked up.
What happened?
The the bag of cat treats and the bag of Skittles look the same, and I've fucking just dumped Skittles all over the driveway. So, what a dumbass cuck. All right.
All right.
yeah.
Bye,
All
guys.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here. People throwing parties, ugly sweaters everywhere. Stockings hung up by the chimney with care. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time.